Hey everyone, this is Accounting Nightmare, and this is the Monster Hunter World beta. This is on PS4. It's only open for a few days, so it's going to be just about shut by the time you see this video. But yeah, we managed to do a hunt with a couple of my friends. I love Monster Hunter. I've been a huge fan of it for a while. I got into it with 3 Ultimate. And then I played 4 Ultimate, and then I played Generations, and I got pretty hardcore into all 3 of them. So I was pretty excited to try out this beta. This is a new eating animation. It's pretty good. Usually in the old games you had to make sure you ate a meal before you went into a hunt, whereas this time they have something you can eat at the actual hunt itself. I'm not sure if that's just for the beta or. But that's pretty good, because if you forgot to eat, you kind of had to just cancel the hunt. Because eating a food before a hunt, it gives you some huge bonuses, some buffs for the hunt. It's heavily encouraged. Yeah, so we're off to hunt the Anjanath. Anjanath. Yeah, it's a new monster for this game. It's the 3rd hunt in the beta. Yeah, I still can't quite get over just how nice this game looks. The other games have all been on the 3DS, so I haven't played Monster Hunter outside the 3DS. But this game, yeah, it looks so much better than those games. It's quite nice. I'm still getting used to the controls. It's a bit different. So at the start of a hunt, in the old games, you kind of just run around trying to find the monster. This time there's like a whole little tracking sequence that you do. It's pretty cool. I like it. So we found some mucus that this thing left behind. That's kind of gross. But yeah, you find like tracks and stuff the monster left, and that leads you closer and closer to it. You have these little scout flies, I think they're called, which lead you around. And then it seems like you have to kill these things before the flies will come back. So these are just some tiny monsters. They don't matter. Yeah, so in the old games, it was especially annoying for new players, or if you're not familiar with the monster, because you kind of just had to run around and try to find the monster yourself. Once you got better at the game, you actually you learned where the monster tended to start off, where it's tended to spawn, so you would just run over there each time, but it's not ideal. So they've got this little tracking thing in the game now, which is pretty cool. I like it a lot, and there I pressed the wrong button and I got confused. There you go. But I don't know how this will hold up over a whole game. Maybe I'll get tired of it once I get the full game. But for the beta, it seems like a pretty cool thing. Yeah, so now I've found enough clues. It's pointing me in the right direction. Picked up another clue because why not? And then you just follow your scout flies. Not sure what happens if you keep collecting clues. Maybe you unlock something else. But I didn't realise the monster's actually showing on my mini-map at the moment. That's pretty cool. You don't even have to look at that though, you can just follow your little flies. And gathering things is so much quicker in this one. It's a much faster animation. I like it. And they got rid of like the little sectioned off areas that were in the old games. This is all just... The hunt area is one seamless place. It's still not open world, but and there's the monster, and it's fighting another monster. And when you see it, there's this weird action cam thing, which is actually kind of distracting. I don't really like it very much. I wonder if you can turn it off. But yeah, so the monsters actually can fight each other this time. That's probably the biggest thing for me. Because previously you could have 2 monsters and they would just both be going for you. Whereas now they can fight each other, and there's some pretty cool animations too when they're fighting. I really like it. And so yeah, this is our target, the Anjanath. It's new for this game, so we're still kind of learning its movements. Like when you can attack it. That's a big part of Monster Hunter, is learning what the monsters do and how they move, and when you can attack them safely and when you can't. So you can see one of my friends is on its back at the moment. It's the mounting mini game. When you do enough jumping attacks to a monster, you do this mounting mini game, and then you can knock it over. And I missed my big swing there. That's a shame. So yeah, I use the hammer. I've always used the hammer in Monster Hunter. I just really like the hammer. For the hammer, that you want to go for the monster's head. If you get lots of bonus damage, you do some stun damage to it. You can actually knock it out temporarily. Yeah, the hammer's pretty fun. It's heavy hitting, but it's surprisingly mobile. Yeah, and then my friend finished the mounting minigame, so the monster's over. Didn't stay down very long. Oh, I actually did hit it. Nice. There's actually damage numbers in this one, which I thought that would be a dumb thing to add to Monster Hunter, but no, it's actually fun. I actually like it. It means that they can actually tell when you're hitting a vulnerable section instead of having to look up bloody damage charts on the internet. That was dumb. But now you can just look at damage numbers, see if you're hitting a weak spot or not. That's cool. I'm still getting used to how the hammer handles in this one. It's got like some new power charge thing going on, which I'm not. It's got a different attack on the circle button. I'm not sure what that does yet, and what I want to use that for. And my friends mounted it. My other friends mounted it, actually, my boyfriend. It seems much easier to mount monsters this time. It seems like you get a lot of mounting mini-games on it. Oh, too far away. And there we go, it's knocked down again. This is kind of how hunts go. You try and get him some damage while dodging its attacks, and then eventually you knock it over in some way, and hey, there we go. See how it's got yellow spots over its head? It means that I stunned it with my hammer. That's pretty cool. And then my friends cut its tail off. So that gives you extra loot if you go over and loot the tail. And now it doesn't have a tail, so any tail-based attacks are shorter and weaker. You can see part of its tail is missing. That's pretty gross. They give you a lot of inventory items for the demo, so I'm slowly using them all. And then it's kind of done with us for now. I was trying to move off to a different spot. In the previous games you had to throw a paintball at it so you could track it on the minimap, but that's not a thing anymore, thankfully. That was stupid. Now you just follow it. Ooh, flame breath. That attack looks pretty cool. It does that when it's enraged. Yeah, so monsters have like different states they go through. They can get fatigued and they can get enraged. And now I'm doing the mounting minigame. Woohoo! So the mounting was introduced in 4 Ultimate. This is pretty similar to that. It's just it's a little clearer as to what buttons you have to hit. You can also move around the monster's body with the there I jumped to its head. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you hold on when it tells you to. You move around to avoid its attacks and just keep stabbing it. You can do like a proper weapon-based attack at the end of the mounting, but I'm not sure how you trigger that. I've triggered that a different time, but I didn't do it here. I managed to do a massive hit with the hammer. I'm not sure what triggers that exactly. Yeah, so something really cool in Monster Hunter is just how the different weapons function. Like, your class in this game is the weapon you're using. You don't pick like, oh, I'm a warrior, I'm a mage, or whatever. This game has like a different class system going on, and I like that. Like, I don't mind like warrior and mage and priest class systems. Those are totally fine to me. But Monster Hunter had a different way of doing things, and I found that really interesting. So some people have, you can use ranged weapons. Some people have slow, heavy-hitting weapons. And see, my hammer is a blunt weapon, whereas my friends are using cutting weapons, so only cutting weapons can cut off tails. So I can't actually cut tails, I need my friends to do that for me, because cutting off tails will give you extra loot. But I have a hammer, so I can hit the head and make the monster stunned. So we synergize in that way. There's a lot of like different things that different weapons do. Like my friend who's mounting it at the moment, she can do more mounting attacks because that's what her weapon is good at. The insect glaive, that's what she's using. And my other friend's using the great sword, which is a really slow, heavy hitting weapon. Much less mobile than my hammer, but it hits harder. Yeah, and then you can go with like fast hitting weapons that do lots of elemental attacks that can like paralyze and stuff. So there's still like roles you can take on in the group, which is really interesting in multiplayer. So there I have to sharpen my hammer. Yeah, I've always found that kind of silly. That's still a thing in this game, but I can understand why. They've changed the sharpness meter. That's the meter under my yellow stamina. It now actually shows you when it's about to switch over to a different sharpness level. You want to keep your weapon sharp, otherwise you do less damage. That's just a little upkeep thing you have to keep track of in combat. There's a lot of just little upkeep things to do in Monster Hunter. So here I'm trying out the paralysis knife. The controls are pretty different for this thing than they were on the 3DS game, so I'm kind of figuring it out. But hey, now it's paralysed, so that worked. That's some free damage. Yes, that's what the fights are about. You dodge, you counter-attack, and then eventually one of you opens up an opportunity to attack it, like here. So you can get in and pile on some real damage, and there it's KO'd again. Pretty cool. Always makes me proud to see that happen, because that's my job as a hammer user. Little awkward spot there for me, but it's fine. Okay, so now it's tired, it's like panting, it's actually drooling a little bit. So like you start to learn what monster behaviours mean. There's a lot of fun things to learn in this game. When it's tired, it doesn't really have much stamina left, it's going to attack slower, it'll mess up some of its attacks. And sometimes they'll actually go off and try and hunt something to eat to restore their stamina. Yeah, you see it slows down quite a bit. Camera. The camera in this demo, actually, I had trouble with it. I don't really like it very much, so I think I might... I use the lock-on a lot, but I don't think I actually like the lock-on. I think I might not use it in the future. Not sure. It will take me some time to get used to. And now I'm trying the poison knife, but I didn't equip it properly. Yeah, the items work differently. The knives, anyway. They're using some new, like, aim and throw system. There we go. I actually hit it that time with the poison knife. Yeah, so this game, well, these games are very much about bringing lots of... well, being prepared for a hunt, really. You can bring tons of items with you, all useful for different things. And it's, which ones do you want to bring? Which ones are you going to use? So, well, there's no dedicated healer, but if you like being a support of some kind, you can focus on that kind of thing. And then I accidentally jumped off the edge. That was unfortunate. It's not very far to climb back, though, thankfully. So you can bring tons of items to every hunt. You can be the person who's always got the barrel bombs and the poison knife and stuff. It's paralysed again. That's right. My friend put down a shock trap. Missing a lot of hits there. Still learning this monster's movements. And there's this cool sliding thing you can do. And it would have been cooler if I didn't get hit at the end. So this other monster's shown up again, and we're going to have a little fight. In previous games, you could make the other monster run away by throwing an item at it. I'm not sure if that's going to be a thing here, but probably will be. Or maybe it won't be, because now they can fight each other, so maybe it's not as unfair as it was before. So now this thing's enraged. You can see like it's huffing some fire particles. It's going to do a fire breath soonish. Pretty scary. Headbutt. Yeah, it brings out these big frills when it's angry, so it's kind of pretty cool monster design. I like it. It's really going for me here. But I escaped. So drinking potions is different this time. You channel it and you can move a little bit while you're doing it, and you can cancel it early. But the earlier you cancel it, the less healing you get. So you can cancel it if you need to, if you're in immediate danger. It's not like the old games where you have to finish the whole animation to get your healing. And like your character would do this weird little flex thing, which I kind of liked. It's some weird Monster Hunter charm, but also I got knocked off again. And this time the other monster follows me. Yeah, my flyers are showing me where to go to get back to the monsters. That's pretty handy. The time limit on the demo is still pretty tight. Or the beta, sorry. I keep calling it a demo. They keep doing this with the demos. They have tight time limits for hunting the monsters, which I don't know why they do it. I think it's just maybe you've used some more things to do in the demo, but I think it's a bad impression for new players. It's not, the time limits aren't as tight in the real game. So here the monster's sleeping because it's low on health, and the attack that wakes the monster does bonus damage. So we let the person with the single strongest attack wake it, and that's my boyfriend M2 Kanti. He's got the great sword. So here I'm waiting for him. Like, where is he? He kind of got set, and then suddenly he's just right there doing a level 3 attack. So that was a pretty funny multiplayer moment. He just came out of nowhere. But yeah, he's got the strongest single attack in our group. And my hammer hits pretty hard, but his great sword does the strongest single attack that we have. I put down a shock trap before to stun it. You can bring so many items to hunts in this game. You kind of start to get used to having something. And here I'm just kind of cycling through my items, trying out different things. The Rocksteady mantle is a new thing for this game. And I'm in some trouble here. But yeah, mantles are like an item you can equip that you can what does it do? It makes you immune to roars and tremors and stuff. There you go. I healed, and one of my friends also healed me with a life powder. That's a nice item that'll heal everyone near you. And then I return the favour with my own life powder. So you can do some group healing as well if you want. You can only carry a certain amount of each item, but that is a thing you can do. You can help out your friends by healing them at a dangerous moment. But here I'm kind of afraid of its fire breath. It's going to do a fire breath at some point. You can see it's enraged. It's got like its weird nose thing extended, and it's breathing some steam. That means it's enraged. It's also got the fire thing going on, which means it's ready to shoot fire. And my friend mounted it again. And then it just kind of goes down there, and I'm kind of confused. Where do I go? And then I realise I can just jump off the edge. And there it is. So I haven't figured out if I'm supposed to attack the monster while it's being mounted in this one. It was different in the previous ones. In 4 Ultimate you didn't want to do that, because if you made it flinch and fall over then you'd knock your friend off. But in Generations attacking it seemed to help with the mounting, so I hope it's like the second one, but I haven't figured that out yet. That's fallen through the ground a little bit. The ground's all unstable here. It's like webbing or vegetation or something. Yeah, and someone knocked it over while it was ready to do a fire breath. So that looked pretty cool. And there, I accidentally knocked my friend in the air, but she said she had fun. So yeah, you can totally knock each other around with your weapons. So you got to be careful that you don't interrupt someone's big special attack. You got to make sure you're attacking the right part of the monster so you don't step on each other's toes. And then we killed it. We were pretty low on time at the end there. But yeah, we did it.
Alright, you completed the quest. Congrats.
Yeah, the time limits, I wish they would stop putting them in the betas and demos. I think it's a bad impression for people new to the games. Because they'll run out of time pretty quickly and then they'll get annoyed. And I'd be happy if they just threw away time limits completely. But yeah. One thing at a time, I guess. So yeah, there's some cool new items. There's some in this one. There's the monster infighting, which looks pretty cool. The game looks pretty beautiful, I think. And they give you some cool little like achievements, like awards for what you did. Pretty cool. And there's no more like loading zones, which I thought they were a key part of Monster Hunter, because you went through a loading zone when you needed to escape the monster for a little bit and heal up. But No, it turns out that's not actually key to Monster Hunter, because it felt completely fine here, not having those. So that's pretty cool.
Nothing can stop us.
So yeah, that's Monster Hunter World. Looking at the E3 footage, we thought it was going to be really weird and out there for a Monster Hunter game, but it really isn't. It's definitely more Monster Hunter. It feels a lot like Monster Hunter, but some of the jagged edges are filed off. I think that's a good thing. So I think a lot of people could, who haven't really gotten into Monster Hunter, I think they could definitely get into this game. It's a really fun multiplayer game, so you don't have to play multiplayer, you can play it single player as well. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, that's Monster Hunter World. It's a very fun beta, and I can't wait for the whole game to actually come out. Definitely looking forward to it. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later.